Hi. Hello. Hello. I'm actually gonna just cut the music on this one because this is really kind of heavy stuff and I don't even want to have it like undercut by music. Um, what we're talking about is pretty extreme for the furry community, and I cannot add the 18 plus title. No, actually this one is not really 18 plus. Is wrong. This is not really 18 plus. This is talking about a menace. This is talking about a menace. And hi, Vintage Fenrir. It's okay. You can go by Vintage Fenrir or Thunder the Canid, whatever. Doesn't matter. Love you regardless. Love you regardless. Yeah, so um it takes a little bit of background first to know what's going on. Um I need to figure out the best way to broach this subject, but plain and simple, there is somebody running a panel at Anthrocon who has shown derisive hate towards a subgroup of the furry fandom to the point that she has uh, cost people their jobs, threatened the safety of actual conventions, been banned from multiple fur meets, and overall continuously has built up a list of individuals that she considers wrongdoing and tries to get people to cancel them online, basically trying to ruin careers. Oh, and did I mention she literally did a takedown notice of someone who is not even affiliated with this subgroup, but took down her video and threatened legal action? And Anthrocon and all of, I don't know what type of wisdom that they were going for, has granted them the uh, option to host a panel at their convention. Anthrocon, one of the biggest, because they used to be the biggest, but one of the biggest fur cons in the world, she is allowed to have a panel. Not only is she allowed to go, because I would actually question the right of if she should be allowed to go, uh, but she's allowed to host a panel there. Person I'm talking about is Katamara Snep. At this point, normally I don't try to bring names into things. If this, I don't try to bring names into things, but at this point, this is really at this point a public beware and a calling out of Anthrocon, because Anthrocon needs to do better. Anthrocon needs Anthrocon never should have allowed her to have a panel, and at this point, Anthrocon needs to make public action to cancel this panel and deliver a response to say, hey, we made a mistake. This panel will not exist. And that's okay. I get mistakes happen, but there needs to be something better put in place in the future. I mean, it might be ignorance. No, this one might. I have a hard time feeling that this is ignorance. I have a hard time feeling that this is ignorance because I'm going to get into it for a second. Because if it's ignorance, then they have no one checking who runs the panels, right? So, which, if they don't have somebody doing a background check on who's running panels, that says a whole other story, right? That's a lot. That's pretty scary in itself as well. Because if we look on the Anthrocon website, because the panel is still active and ready to go. Um, let's start a little bit back. Let's start a little bit back and go over exactly how this was found out, right? Because where is it? Uh, a a furry by a furry was able to deduce that this panel was being run by Katamara Snap, who is famously anti-baby fur. Now you might be thinking, well, that's okay. I get not being into something, but this is going to the point that she is harassing people uh, incessantly, and she has doxed the areas of like Baby Furcon, including to the point that she actually uh, released the details of the hotel, contacted the hotel, trying to get them to cancel the convention, doing all sorts of things to basically make grown adults making adult decisions a make their lives worse. So there is a lot of good resources on the things that she's done. Uh, One of the best ones I can think of is if you look up Concub on YouTube and you look for the Baby Babble podcast. If you listen to episode 7, she was talking specifically about what she did at Baby Furcon. There are other things that she has done, including, again, I have a lot of stuff pulled up here, so mind you, it's going to be we're shooting a little bit from the hip, but I know all this stuff. I've talked about her before in the past. She does a lot. Oh yeah, exactly. I'm going to get into that soon. Don't you worry. That's actually on the list as well. But we're talking about the big threat first and go there. I feel like AC is going on downfall, the poodling controversy, and now this. I don't want to Golden Wolf. I appreciate you bringing that up, but for the first part, I want to stay focused. Okay, I want to stay focused. The panel is the Slipknot Swim. Just to let you guys know, it is the Slipknot Swim. It is Thursday, July 3rd, 11:30 p.m. to Friday, July 4th at 12:30 a.m. It is a pool toy panel. This is the description that she wrote, because anybody who does the panel, you write your own description. Are pool toys your playtime kink? Or maybe you're drawn to the art of shibari? Whether you're into one, both, or just curious about exploring, come hang out with us by the quote-unquote pool. No actual pool present. This kink-friendly space welcomes you to practice your shibari ties, ride an inflatable, or even maybe even tying up a pool toy, or someone to a pool toy. Attendees are encouraged to bring their own inflatables, pumps, and a rope. It's time to make some waves. Winky face. So, then you have the image of her. And you have her profile. The profiles have to be uploaded, and this is not something that like people have to double check this a little bit. So if you go on that profile, if you're on like Sked, I actually can link this over. I don't mind linking that over. If you go on Sked and you look at the speaker, you'll find that it links over to their Instagram. One of the first things that you can see on the Instagram is this page is not a baby fur safe space. Which, you know what? Okay, I get that. A lot of people have the DNI of not wanting to interact with them. But then we have her featured story. Her featured story is called the Anti-Diddy Saga. And I'm going to go through this one by one, because this is information that was publicly available to Anthrocon when they approved her event. So when they approved her event, they had this information. And I'm just going to go through it. Social PSA. Contact warning for mentions of ABDL. She calls it something else. I'm not going to call it that. I'm aware of the meets I called out on my story for being pro-ABDL will probably want to condemn me and say they don't condone said word that I'm not going to say because it has nothing to do with ABDL. Let me set some things straight and clear the air. It's been claimed that Katamara has been deemed dangerous by the greater SoCal community for death threats. The greater SoCal community they're referring to is admins chat comprised of 40 or so people, less of half which which mostly actually less of half of which actively talk. 2, most of the people contribute to the conversation in this chat have been confirmed as predators, which no, or have close friends who are/support ABDL. Keep in mind, anytime that she's mentioning predators, she is just equating that to someone who is ABDL. The group leader is a baby fur. So that's a reason why we should not take somebody at their word, according to Katamara, is because they are a baby fur. The death threats they refer to me are these posts. I'm hoping that a number of you Kermit yourselves. I believe that's the way I have to say it on YouTube. I believe that's the way. She full on admits that she has sent that over to people in the furry community. Full on admits that she sent that over to the leaders of SoCal events. Me on a private account in response to a thread, I was shocked to see about baby fur/ABDLs using Friends of Bluey as a dog whistle. It's not a dog whistle. It's actually just a code. Big difference. Big difference between dog whistle and code. Sorry to F up the vibe of your timeline, but if you're a baby fur that isn't seeking help, then I don't view you as human. And I am praying for your imminent death. So, again, I would like to say that these are things that she is full on admitting to saying. This is not her being like, oh, they made up stuff about me. This is stuff she is saying, I have said. I have said this, and I stand by it. So she does not believe that people who are ABDL or baby fur are human. Me responding to baby furs. Despite these being emotionally charged statements, I did not threaten to end anyone. This severely waters down what is a death threat. To say I threatened anyone with death is disingenuous, and to equate a KYS, much less one directed at baby furs, to a death threat just seems like a cover-up for banning me on the grounds of a reason they don't want to publicize. Their disagreement with me and my ABDL views. When your views are at the point that you are wishing death upon others, wishing harm upon others for expressing themselves in a safe way, then yes, you deserve to be banned. You full on deserve to be banned. That is not something that should be up for debate. This is not something that anybody would be like, oh, no, they're okay. This is like the alt-right nonsense of saying, guys, why can't we meet in the middle? We just want, genocide of all trans people. You guys want to exist as yourselves, so let's meet in the middle and put you in prison camps. No, this is the type of nonsense that exists. Additionally, in the discussion to ban me from these meets, the admins hardly discuss my death threat. They fixated on my views of UDL, saying I shouldn't yuck people's yum, saying I'm uneducated in kink, I'll learn when I'm older, etc. Well, she's very uneducated in kink. I find it hilarious that her panel that she has right now, that Anthrocon has somehow deemed her worthy of having, mentions a kink-friendly space. The whole agree to disagree when talking about human rights. We don't get to agree to disagree when it comes down to how I express myself. Six, incoming meat disclosures. These admins will attempt to claim they do not support or condone baby furs. Again, she is using a different word. I think if you think hard enough, you'll know what type of word she's using. Perhaps it's a special type of document, a PDF. That's what she's equating all people who are ABDL or into baby fur are. I'm willing to bet that they will dance around the word ABDL, that they will say they don't condone baby furs and that I'm a threat, but they will not be able to condemn the ABDL because they offer spaces for these types of people. So then she goes on to name each and every one of these meats, uh, and says that she will only offer an apology if they can prove that they don't condone ABDL. She wants everybody to fit into her little basket, her little box of what furry is. I think most of you guys in my chat know and have been around a long enough. Uh, and understand that baby furs are a huge backbone of the furry community. They're a huge backbone of the furry community, actually. Without the baby furs, you probably wouldn't have most of your cons. Uh, so in addition to all this, she also has a Google Doc. She has a Google Doc that she consistently adds to. When was the last time she added to this thing? Uh, last time she added to it was in January, but she puts people on there who she thinks are popular baby furs who should be blocked. She says that these are harmful individuals and should not be engaged. She uses a lot of big words. Not gonna lie, she uses a lot of big words and throws out a lot of things that she uh, will say to make her seem like she knows what she's talking about and is coming from things from a science and trauma based discussion. But she's not. She's not. A lot of this is just pure and simple hate. It's pure and simple hate on what she's been doing. So she says anyone with over 10,000 Instagram, 5,000 Twitter followers, 5,000 YouTube, or 20,000 TikTok followers will be put onto this list if she can find evidence that they are a baby fur. And then she goes on to list and show all these people, including some of their art that might have been private or on a different account. Essentially trying to call out people. She's trying to call out people. It's gross. Including calling out people like Ash Coyote. Anyone who doesn't know Ash Coyote, she's the director of the fandom. Fantastic individual, fantastic artist, just in general. And he put up a wonderful video on ABDL. Which Katamara Snap had then attempted to copyright strike. She attempted to copyright strike this video and get it taken down because Ash used a snippet of her art in it to express how people hate on baby furs. Ash since took that out and it worked. It's gone at that point. But a lot of people believe that the real reason she did that is so she could effectively dox Ash. Because in order to fight back to the copyright strike, she would actually have to open up a legal case. This was around the end of last year, or in October last year, I believe. I did talk about it a little bit last year. It's upsetting. It's upsetting to say the least. Then we have issues where after the Fur Affinity baby fur ban happened, we found that she was celebrating that and encouraging people in the furry community to continue blacklisting people who are into that. Fur Affinity has since turned around and has since changed their tune as far as baby fur community goes. But now we are seeing Anthrocon. Anthrocon has decided to give this well-known pest, I think that's the best way to put it, this well-known menace, a voice. Not only a voice, but an entire panel. And for anyone not into the know of the baby fur community and the pool toy community, those two have a lot of overlap. There is a lot of overlap. She invites kids to her pool parties. I'm going to get into that actually. That actually is a little. This is another thing that's kind of shady. I'm going to. But one step at a time. We got a lot to cover here. Salt Seas Vlog. But thank you for showing up. And thank everyone for showing up. This is really important stuff that we need to talk about today. And that's why I'm not even playing music. Because, oh, dear Lord, I just want people to be able to focus and listen. I don't want to get too sidetracked. There's a lot. And I'm running after a full day of work, so we're gonna see how much energy I got to keep going with you guys. Hey, Pascal the Otter. So I wanted to bring up the fact that yeah, there's a big overlap between ABDL and the pool toy scene. As far as kinks go, there's a big overlap. So it's very possible that people who are into ABDL could actually end up at this party and be putting themselves in kind of a situation that might be dangerous for them. Because I don't trust her not to do things. She literally was trying to take photos outside of the Baby Fur Con to expose people who were into it. She tried to infiltrate that. So, yeah. She's not very trustworthy. Yeah, let's get in. I want to get into just exactly how untrustworthy. I'm not going to mention the name of the individual here because we protect the rights of people. Um, but this comes from somebody who's made a post on Blue Sky and said, I don't usually share things like this, but this person actually got me fired last year and stalked me to find personal info. They are awful, and I'm shocked they'd be running any kink-related panel with how horrible they are to people over weird kinks. I would highly suggest to avoid. Absolutely. Can you imagine just having your innermost secrets, things that you're into in furry, revealed to your boss? How many of us would still have a job? Right? How many of us would still have a job if that happened to us? I can guarantee not a lot. I can guarantee not a lot. It's a gross weaponization of the fandom. That's the best way to put it. She's weaponizing the fandom in order to hurt people. This is not just like, oh, I don't like this, so I'll avoid them. She is actively seeking to hurt people. I'm sorry. It takes a moment here. It takes a moment. Oh, this fires me up quite a bit, and I apologize if I do have to stop a little bit sometimes. So, in she's already revealed that her kink is pool toys, right? That's one of her kinks. She even has an NSFW account for it. We don't shame. I don't shame anybody for what they're into at all. But she was inviting people over to her pool parties, inviting kids. And here's the weird thing. This is a direct quote from her tweet that she put out, that for who's allowed to come to her pool party. Who is allowed to come to her pool party? Anyone 15 plus. Anyone 15 plus is allowed to go to her pool party. She's not a child. She's an adult. She is very much an adult, right? She's an adult with a very adult boyfriend and a very adult NSFW Blue Sky. Why are kids being invited? It's concerning. Very, very concerning. What's up, undercover detective skunk? Master of projection, methinks. Maybe. Hi, Three Most High. Hello. Uh, it's a very concerning thing. I want to get even further into this. Her boyfriend, who I'm not sure if I feel comfortable saying his name because I don't know enough about what he's done, but I have seen enough of him helping her on TikTok to note that he full on agrees with her opinions, but he's running the TikTok event. He's running the TikTok event in Anthrocon. So we have two people who are very publicly anti baby fur, which I don't care if you like it, I don't care if you dislike it, but at no point should somebody be hating on them. These people are hating and trying to expose people and hurt them. These two people are given panels at Anthrocon. Yes, this is an official event. These are official events. They are on the schedule. They are on the panel schedule. This is not something like they're doing on the side or anything like that. This is something that Anthrocon, because for anyone who doesn't know how you actually go through and get a panel at a convention, you have to apply. You have to apply for that panel and it has to get approved. When you're applying for that panel, you're giving out information not only about what the panel is, but about who you are. So this information was given freely. So, what does this say to me? This says that Anthrocon is one of two things. Highly inefficient in doing any sort of background checks, to the point that they actually aren't doing any at all for their panelists. Or, and this is the scarier one, they saw this and they thought it wasn't that big of a deal. Imagine seeing all this stuff where it's literally wishing death upon individuals, where it's saying that some members of the fandom are not human and not in the fun Therian way, and saying, nope, that's okay. I hope, beyond hope, that Anthrocon is just stupid. Because if they're not stupid, then they are being malicious, even if it's malice through inaction. If Anthrocon has allowed this and said, you know what, we don't think it's a big deal, what does that say about going to that con? That is a scary, scary thought that they don't think that this is a big deal. Granted, I'm going to throw out that this has only been really pushed out into the social media sphere in the past day. But during my work hours, where I am working, and I just have couple minutes to go on the phone, I was able to find these very public connections. These very public connections to what is going on. That says something. If Anthrocon wasn't able to find that, with having weeks in order to judge this, because, you know, for what it's worth, she didn't sign up with any of her known alias. Actually, Saltsea's devlog, she did. She absolutely did. If you go to the schedule page, we were discussing this. If you go to the schedule page, which you kind of have to use in order to create the schedule, right? If you go to that schedule page, Oh yeah, no, no, no. It wasn't her known alias. But if you go to this, and this is where I expect that, like, this is where I want Anthrocon to do a little bit better with their research. If you go to that and you click on her profile pic, because I think that's kind of a bare minimum for getting a panel approved, is that they should look at who's running it. Um, and you click on her Instagram, it leads directly into the information that we went over before, Salt Seas Dev Log, which actually has her full on admitting to making violent threats. She full on admits it. She doesn't say that, she doesn't mince words. That's all stuff that's on the sked. Is it possible that was added after? Yeah. But at what point do we require Anthrocon to have a little bit higher standard in approving this? I feel like we need to. And granted, it's only been a day, but this should be something that Anthrocon jumped on. This should be something that Anthrocon jumped on immediately. As soon as they saw this come out, as soon as people started talking about this, because they've had a full day. And in that full day, they have posted about their parade outfits, what's acceptable for their parade, which, everybody's up in arms about. They have posted 1 week left. And they have posted interested in donating items to our charity option. They have made multiple posts. Something should be said. They have not responded to your @ Here's the thing. I don't think they're going to respond to individuals. I think they need to make a public statement on this. But I hope that they do. I hope that they do, but I kind of get the feeling that they won't. I kind of have the feeling that that may not happen. That may not happen. I feel like these two panels, because there's the trick of the thing. They need to cancel both this panel and the TikTok panel. Hi, by the way, I fooled you. You thought it was going to be one panel we were talking about? No, it's two. Because granted, I'm more offended by the Slipknot swim because she's much more active in it, but that person has been very active in it as well. It is easy enough to take those off. That should be a priority. Right now, they are actively endorsing someone who is running a hate campaign. That's not acceptable. I don't. This is, again, this isn't like some mom and pop con, and I get that these are run by volunteers. I get it. But at a certain point, we need accountability and we need responsiveness. Hi, Jack. How are ya? Good to see ya. At a certain point, you can only let it slide so far. Anthrocon can't act like it's the biggest heretofall everything. I am not going to Anthrocon. I am not going to Anthrocon, and I think after if they don't take action on this, I am going to recommend that no one goes to Anthrocon. Ricola. This entire situation that they are allowing to happen is gross negligence on the furry community. This is active. This is not active engagement of harm, but they are, through inaction, they are allowing someone who actively is trying to harm have a voice. I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling all right. I want to keep focused, okay, guys? I want to keep focused. It's okay, Ricola. There's a lot going on. Essentially, let me break it down into the real quick version here. The real quick version. Someone who runs a hate campaign against ABDL in the furry community and has actively tried to ruin people's lives, including making someone lose their job, getting certain videos actually taken off the internet, has been given a panel at Anthrocon along with her boyfriend. These two people. You know what? Actually, never mind. Hold the damn phone. Because we were talking about this. She didn't sign up with any of her known aliases, but Saltsea's devlog. Her boyfriend sure did. Her boyfriend sure did. And her boyfriend still posts that same type of trash on TikTok, and he is running a TikTok panel. Huh. So, no, actually, more in detail, panel for a kink to which she has invited children to her parties. Yes, yes, that is also important to know in this. She has invited people who are 15 plus to her parties that she's had before. I can't guarantee that those were kinky parties, though, Saltsea's devlog, which is why I'm not going to. Garbear, hold on. We're not going to. We cannot throw out accusations without, like, that. I can throw out that she had uh, a party that she invited people who were. She advertised the big pool toys. I know. But while she would unfairly malign us, I'm not going to do the same. I'm working on facts. I'm working on facts, Saltsea's devlog. I have to work on facts. I can say that she had a party with big pool toys, and pool toys happen to be her kink, and she invited people who are 15 plus. That is what I will say. I am not going to make any inference because that's it. I can go by facts. I know that's a hard sell sometimes. Yeah, Pascal, I don't think it's a smart idea to go to that panel. In fact, I don't. I feel like if this panel isn't canceled, this says a lot about where Anthrocon's head is at right now. How old is this person? They're in their mid 20s, or I think young 21. They're 21. They are 21. They are 21, which, yeah. No, they're 21. Saltsea's devlog, they're 21. That's what it says. Unless we're getting that information from different places. Where are you getting almost 30? They've been 21 for a long time. Oh, one of those. Okay, gotcha. I can't confirm nor deny their age then. I will say that. I can't confirm nor deny. Hey, 11 and 1, that's not the discussion. Mm. I try to run by facts. It's kind of what I think is important. I think it's important not to get caught up into. Oh, silly dog. Sorry, she needed her toy. Uh, I think it's important not to get caught up into the mire of what ifs and what ifs. The panel is the Slipknot Swim. It's an 18 plus panel on July 3rd at 11:30 p.m. to July 4th, 12:30 a.m. And this is an official panel at Anthrocon. This is something that Anthrocon got, they saw, and they approved. So, my big question is really Anthrocon's next step. And I hope to God that they cancel it. I hope they cancel it and release a statement saying, "Hey, we didn't know. We made a mistake." The worst thing that they could do right now is double down on this and say, "Well, it's just going to happen." Because them doing any sort of inaction at this point is now active endorsement of what Katamari stands for. There are certain things that you can kind of get away with Like, let's say somebody has like a really kind of like off viewpoint, you know, an off viewpoint in the furry community, and they have a panel, and you'd be like, well, why are they having that? And somebody can come back and say, oh, free speech. Everybody's allowed to have their say on things, but you cannot actively seek death among other furries just because they are into one thing that you don't like. And you know what? I don't care if you dislike it. I don't care if you like it. Baby furs are allowed to exist. Are they game playing Slipknot? Because otherwise that sounds a little, oh, yeah, no, Sint, I get you. I'm actually not going to say that because I'm not sure how the YouTube algorithm would like that. I would hope they replace the person who's running it at the very least. Well, you can't really do that with panels, Pascal. Uh, it They can't really do that with panels. Uh, it's one of those things where the person who wrote the panel is the one who's done it. It's not like these panels are just being like there and they're open, being like, oh yeah, here we go. This one's open for anyone. Uh, you when you're getting a panel put together, you submit over the idea and then you push it out. Like for when I've done my kink education panels, I have to submit over that. You know what? I'm into kink education. I've done this for this many years. This is why I should be acknowledged on this. I'm not. Mm, it does sound that way, but you have to understand. It's also I get why she's saying Slipknot on that. It's more because she's going into Shibari as well. Shibari Slipknot is a common knot that you would use. And I get that it comes up with a fun name, Slipknot Swim. Ha, it's fun. So I don't see the references to KKK on that. I don't. I Again, I would recommend checking out the ad. Yeah. Did I go to FWA? I did not give my class at FWA. No, I haven't given my class in a long time, actually. I did go to FWA, but I didn't get my class there. Um, I haven't done my class in a while. I might try to do it. I was thinking I might try to submit my class over to Furrydelphia because I think that might be fun. Because Furrydelphia, I think, is going to be my next con that I go to. I had thought about going to Anthrocon, but the way that this is turning out, I am very happy that I was sick. It's one of the few benefits of me having surgery and being sick is that I won't be going to this type of thing. Nope, no. Slip knots are used for a lot of things. Slip knots are used for a lot of things, and a slip knot is actually not the knot that you would use on a noose. Believe it or not, a noose knot is very, very specific. Slip knots are smaller. Um, but yeah, it it says something about Anthrocon that they have yet to respond on this. They had a day. They had a day where everybody kind of went insane on this. This is not like, a limited thing. It's it got a lot of views. It got a lot of views and I know there have been emails sent. I didn't personally email them. I know there have been people who have emailed them. Terracotta, terracotta, terracotta pot. I The initial post has been reposted 120 times, quote reposted 34 times. Uh, and in that, there are people who have emailed over. So there have been people who have actually said, uh, where is it? I'm trying to find it right now. Uh, Da, 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 da. I posted to this and let them know exactly what it is. Um, oh shoot, I think I missed that part. Sorry, it's going through a very long thread. Uh, hold on, I'm just finding it. Huh, where is? Oh, it's gonna be easier if I just go into my replies. I apologize. Sometimes there's a little. I have to figure out exactly how to find something on here. Yes. If you know of anyone who has been directly harassed by her or her followers, could you pass them along to me? AC staff is aware of the issue, and I'm trying to parse all the information. That's coming from somebody, and that was 14 hours ago. I'm gonna say straight up, 14 hours is more than enough time to, like, cancel this panel off. 14 hours is more than enough time to click cancel on this. Uh, wishful thinking, probably. They may have canceled it and not updated the site. I mean, I feel like that would be even harder to do. I think that the easy thing would be to immediately just get rid of it and get it off. Uh, Hold on 1 second. I have to do a quick BRB and take care of something with my dog. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Dog needed some attention. It happens. It happens. Uh, but yeah, no, it's terrifying to me that that this is like Anthrocon's been known to make kind of trash decisions in the past. I don't. I say that knowing the type of con that they are. The type of con they are, which is very much been moving towards a puritanical state. Anthrocon caters to the Puritan. And this individual, this uh, Katamara Snep, represents some of the most Puritan out there. Where my kink is okay and yours isn't, so you don't deserve to be here. That that's not okay. That isn't okay at all. If this is the type of situation that uh, Anthrocon wants to have going for it, they need to back up and relearn what made the furry fandom. You know? Because the furry fandom is not based on. The furry fandom is not based on one person being the same way. It's not even based on being like the anthropomorphic animal. It's based on diversity. That is its strength. Its strength is diversity, not in just skin color, gender, whatever, but in minds, in our thoughts. In the way that we exist. That is what furry is meant to be. Look back to the 70s and 80s. What about the 70s and 80s? What about the 70s and 80s? Tell me. We are we are a bunch of animals, literally can't get more diverse. Exactly. You know? That is the whole thought point. Like we are such a beautiful, diverse rainbow of people. And to think that we are now having conventions trying to tell us exactly the best way to be furry. I'm not. I get the parade thing. I understand that there are issues, and I think they went about it the wrong way. Oh, okay. Bow. No, we didn't. Bye. Don't worry, they're gone. Uh, furries did not start as zoos. That's not how it started. There's in peace. I miss the hate. It happens. I mean, if you're a furry streamer, you're gonna get hate every once in a while. Plain and simple. But we shouldn't be dealing with hate from within our own community. That's the big issue to me. At no point should our own community be the one hating us. Yeah, they were on stream a few days ago. They were on stream a few days ago. I'll do the same thing to them if they get come back. YouTube doesn't really have a good ban function. Dang, furries being all not exactly my ideal of furry. Yeah, pretty much. Like that's what Anthrocon has been moving towards, and that's where it's kind of sickening and gross. Because if you've noticed, like Anthrocon is very selective of how they express uh, their viewpoints. That's why they want to be a family-friendly convention, which leads it even further to why are they having this type of event at Anthrocon for being so family-friendly? Why have this type of event? Normally, Anthrocon's events are pretty tame. Largely just going to AC as my first con because my friends have made, yeah, no, that's fine. Go have a good time, hon. Have a good time. I don't want anyone to have a bad time. Trust me. I want you all to have a good time if you go. Like, but if you're gonna, please make sure that you avoid two panels. Just avoid two of them. And I'll get you the times again. Avoid the slip not swim. That's Thursday night. It's an 18 plus one. Avoid that. And avoid the furry TikTok panel. Unless you want to learn how to make TikToks that actually hate on groups of people. In which case, go for it. But don't ever come back here. Always been this way, to be honest. Nier's death really let some unsavory make power moves. Yeah. Um, Kage's always been very staunch in his belief of what furry is, and he makes too many concessions to the normie people, which is why even if like even if I had like a full suit, I wouldn't be participating in like a fursuit parade in AC. Reason being is people who are in the fursuit parade in AC, you are more so acting as something for people to be a looky-loo at. Kage is not furry. I mean, I'm not gonna say he's not. I'm not gonna say he's not. It's not my right to say that he's not a furry. I It is my right to say he is very, very single-minded in the way that he acts. I don't like him. I don't like how he has expressed himself, and I don't like the direction that he tries to push the furry fandom. It makes me upset to see that. Um, Next year for you, Garbear. Next year. Next year, save up some money, get to go. There you go. You'll get it. You'll get it. I I probably am just gonna hit up Philadelphia this year. That's probably gonna be my last con for the year because I'm gonna be saving money and I'm having to pay stuff back from all the surgery stuff that I've done. From all my surgery and medical, which kind of sucks. Speaking of which, uh, can I do my small plug? Can I do my small plug? If you wanna help out a skunk there. I'm not skunk, possum. Oh my god, I miss species myself. Friends are going. I guess I'm gonna stay home. I mean, Ricola, you never know. Your friends might be going to wait more in Dallas, which is a little ways for, still a ways away from me. Be careful going to the Texas furry festivals too. Not skunk possum, just possum. I'm just so used to saying skunk. I'm so used to saying skunk. Comes out sometimes. It comes out. Dallas has a con. Yeah, Dallas has a con. It is Texas Furry Fiesta, which is also a little bit iffy. Not so much for the con itself, but more so because Dallas. Um, you know, Texas itself is pretty scary right now. It's a scary part of the world right now. Just be careful. Be careful. You called yourself a fox for years after becoming a dog? Yo, the dogs rock. We love dogs. Big fan of dogs. But yeah, make sure you avoid the TikTok panel, which is Saturday at 11 a.m. In all fairness, you'll likely be sleeping. And the Slipknot swim on Thursday. Uh, Zerong, I mean, Atlanta, I had fun walking around in. You're glad you live in a small town. You don't get the giant city drama. Having lived in both small towns and big cities, I guarantee you, I've dealt with more drama in small towns than big cities. Big cities, I just disappear and do my own thing. In small towns, everybody knows everybody, and that's, ugh, no thank you. I'd rather be in a bigger town. I'd rather be in a bigger town because I don't want to deal with that. Big cities don't really have drama unless it's cops starting riots. Yeah, big cities have cops doing dumb things. Uh, but besides the point. That's besides the point of what I'm talking about today. Sorry. Gossip and slander are pastimes in the tiny towns. Yeah, you sit on your porch, you drink some lemonade with your neighbor Millie, and you talk about what Mabel is doing two doors down, you know? What's up, Goat Gaming? How are you? I adore you. And hello, Justine. That's why I want to get out of my current location. Literally can't do anything here without everyone knowing about it in a day. Yo, yeah, pretty much. Hope you both are doing well tonight. Knows me. I'm the town's gay furry, the kid that gets bullied, and the kid people try to run over on my way home from school. Hey, hon. Oh, that's no good. Hold on, I need to check something. Da, 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 da. Yo, you do. Okay. Guys, if you want to check out something awesome, go check out It's a Goat Gaming's YouTube channel. They upload there. Check them out. Give them a subscribe. give them a follow or whatever you do on YouTube. I don't know what you do on YouTube. I'm still learning this. I'm doing good. No, oh, Jack, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, I've mentioned the main things that I want to get out about the entire thing. Yeah, I have mentioned the main things that I have wanted to get out about this because, oh dear Lord, it's kind of an absolute trash fire and not in the fun way. The nonsense of what they are allowing to happen at AC is it's tantamount with what the New Jersey Furcon did. I forget what the New Jersey Furcon was called. What is the New Jersey Furcon? Forget what it's called because there's two of them now. Garden State for the weekend. It is tantamount with what they did, which was not immediately ban the furry raiders, which are yeah, I think it's tantamount with that. It That's why literally people made forget about it. So, hey, this year, if you were planning on going to Anthrocon and you were just planning on going and you don't have a ticket yet, don't go. Go to Furrydelphia. Furrydelphia, their theme is HoagieCon. You can get yourself a big old sandwich. Uh, I've never really. I went to Anthrocon once, and I had one of the most miserable times I've ever had in my life at a FurCon. I actually rate it as one of the worst FurCons I've ever been to, purely on the fact that there was staff that used slurs at me, and I literally was chased by other furries while I was wearing heels. I ended up hurting my ankle, and was told by other furries that by gay furries that I was appropriating their culture by wearing a harness. So yeah, I didn't have a fun time at Anthrocon, and when I made a complaint, I was never responded to about all that. So full transparency, I don't like Anthrocon. I don't like Anthrocon. It's kind of a it's kind of a trash con, and not in a fun way. It I think we deserve better as far as conventions. Like Anthrocon for a long time was the gold standard of conventions for furries, you know? I remember growing up hearing about that and being like, that might be cool to go to, but I'm not a furry. I just would want to go and see. But, you know, when I went as an adult, I'm like, this is not okay. It kind of felt like the exact opposite of what I expect furries to be. Rainforest was peak. I miss it. I wanted to go to Rainforest. I wish that Rainforest still existed in my area because I live in that area now. I'm up in the Washington area. I would totally go to Rainforest, but instead now we have Anthro Northwest, which is by far the most watered down baby con I've ever seen in my life. Uh, uh, it's abhorrent. It's the exact opposite of what a convention should be. Um, you basically have made it so there is nothing above PG level. I used to like AC when I first joined the fandom. Didn't know much about cons then before I attended my first con, which was Megaplex. Since then, my opinion of AC quickly soured. I can see that. I can see that. Anthro Northwest's Cheeks, yeah, it's really. But that I feel like that gives a bad name to Cheeks. Cheeks are cool. Anthro Northwest is what's like. It's just gross. It's gross. Rainforest 2012 was your first con. Lucky. Sent. I wish I had gone into the fandom earlier. I do wish I had gone into the fandom earlier. I would have really enjoyed to express myself a lot more as when I was younger. And I guess that's part of why I get kind of protective over some of this stuff because like honestly, I didn't join the fandom until much later in my life. I didn't join the fandom until I was mid 30s, mid 30s, and now I'm 40, and it means a lot to me because it's something that I found as I transitioned, right? I found the fandom and kind of grew into it as I transitioned, and Abby helped me find myself. So it means a lot to me. So when I see stuff like this that is discouraging people from finding themselves, and then you have what is widely considered like one of the more uh, predominant conventions in in the world, giving a silent approval to someone actively hating, that breaks my heart. You know, it absolutely breaks my heart. No, as of right now, the biggest convention in the world is FWA. The biggest convention in the world as of right now is FWA. Now, will Anthrocon beat it this year? I don't know. Anthrocon seems to be doing the fast track of making people not want to go to it. Uh, this is a huge deal. This would have been a deal breaker for me. I actually probably would have sold my ticket. MFF MFF sometimes takes the lead. It's between the three right now. I don't know if FWA will be big again next year, to be fair, because FWA it was too big this year for its own good. MFF actually wasn't the biggest last year. The biggest last year was Anthrocon. MFF had kind of a little slump of a year. They had a little slump of a year. But MFF normally at the end of like each calendar year is usually the biggest. But Anthrocon might take it this year. Yeah, 2022 MFF was the biggest. 2022, 2023 MFF was the biggest. Uh, but they're yeah, MFF 2024 wasn't the biggest. I agree. I was there too for a day. Um, Megaplex got pretty big the last 2 years. I don't think it's gotten anywhere near FFWA levels. No. And nor would I recommend that like people go out of their way to go out to Megaplex. Megaplex is strictly Megaplex. You're gonna see go down, 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 down in the next couple years. Because it's too dangerous to go there. You're not gonna get people going from out of state. You're not gonna get people from going out from out of state because Florida is a dangerous place to go. It's dangerous to go if you're trans. It's dangerous to go if you're gay. You just don't go to Florida. Yeah. So I think cons that you're going to see get bigger and bigger are things out on the West Coast. I think you're finally going to see some West Coast growth. I think you're going to see things like Further Confusion get bigger. I think you are going to see Biggest Little Furcon get really big. I think that's going to get really huge. And I think Denver is probably one of the ones that's up on there as well. I don't know enough about Denver or BLFC or for further confusion. If there's something wrong with them, please let me know. I am ill-informed. I just know that they're more West Coast. Las Vegas FurCon will never be as big in the big ones because they are an 18 plus con. And same, I love 18 plus cons. I do. I think that should be the standard. I think 18 plus con should be the standard for furry conventions, not the exception. But since they aren't, it is absolutely never going to be the biggest. I would love to see Las Vegas FurCon get huge. I I I want to go to that one. That is on my list. It's very much on my list of want to go to. But we'll see eventually, maybe. Who knows? You never know. GFF is probably going to plummet in the next few years. Yeah, anything that is southern, anything that is southern, you are going to see a massive drop down. It's just, it is what it is. I do want to go to an 18 plus Furcon. I want to find more friends into the same stuff as me. That's fair. I will say, 18 plus Furcons, the crazy thing about it, you think it's going to be like wild and super NSFW. It's not. It's just, a con that allows, makes it so we don't have to worry about the kids. That's it. That's it. It's kind of nice. The next few years are probably going to have a lot of shake up for Furcons, going to be a lot for shrinking and growth. Yeah, I agree. I had my eye on Perlandia since it's in the area I'm trying to move back to. I've heard good things about that. I want to check it out. I like smaller cons. I really am a big fan of smaller cons. So, sucks for us to live down here. I'm sorry, Reluctant Warrior. Do what you can. Go to like the cons that you can go to and have fun, but you're probably gonna see less people there. I know I can't really go to a southern con because it's dangerous. It's dangerous for me. Yeah, everyone says 18 plus cons don't work, but 80% of attendance is 21 plus. True. 80% of attendance at conventions typically is above the age of 21. I don't. The only thing I can think of that might make people a little less hesitant is, I guess, the image. The image. They don't want to showcase the image of furries being all adult. Having the family-friendly image during the day is a really good news bite for people. 21 plus fandom. Oh, God, if only. You're 20. I don't want 21 plus cons. I feel like having a 21 plus con would be nice. At least one. At least one. But you can't age gate the fandom. No matter what, kids are gonna get into things. Just like in my chat right now, I can't control if there's somebody under 21. I can't control if there's somebody under 18 unless they say it, in which case then I can control it. But you can't. You can't put that out there. You can't put that out there for a thing that people like. Yo, Gray Muzzle Con, 35 plus. 35 plus in order to go to the con. It's just going to be me and like 5 other people sitting around and drinking old fashions and talking about how things were back in the day. Oh, I think technically, what is the gray muzzle age nowadays? What is the gray muzzle age nowadays? I don't know what the gray muzzle age is nowadays. I can't tell you. 35 is too young to be a gray muzzle. I think the gray muzzle age is actually like 30. I believe it or not. It's like 50 now. Yo, am I not a gray muzzle? Holy shit. I've been told my entire time in the furry fandom that I'm a gray muzzle. Ever since I've joined, I've been told I'm a gray muzzle. Am I not a gray muzzle? Talking about the old butts of yore. No, I'm going to talk about the new butts. I'm going to talk about the new butts.
Ricola thinks Abby is a lil critter and says,
Ricola, thank you. That means a lot, hon. It actually does. It means a lot. That helps out a lot right now. But you literally have a gray muzzle now. Oh my god, I do. I do have a gray muzzle now. For anyone who doesn't know, I've had multiple days off of work. So I'm gonna be it's gonna be a tight little bit. But I am a okay, so don't feel like you have to donate or anything like that. But donations are greatly appreciated. God, I feel dirty saying that. Yay. 30 only seems like a gray muscle age because the furry stereotype is always in the 40s. I think the average furry age now is literally in the later 20s. I believe Sue. Believe Sue. Boy named Sue. What? You can tell I'm starting to get a little bit loopy. It was a long day. It was a long day at work, but I was actually able to go back to work today, which was really nice. Uh, just so everyone knows, we're officially like done with the big serious talk. So I'm done with the big serious talk. I feel good. I feel like we had a good little talk on that. And yeah, today was rough. Today was a rougher day. I actually may call it a shorter stream. You need to eat. It's late. I get you, wrong. I get you. We may call it a shorter stream just because honestly, I need to like do some self care. I have tomorrow off. I kind of want to do something uh more fun tomorrow. I want to do something more fun tomorrow. I got this entire week was rough for me too. You're right. Reluctant Warrior. I spent most of this week recovering. Spent most of this week recovering from MRSA, which, gross. If you ever want to talk about a really gross disease, MRSA. Whoa. Definitely do not need that in my life. It was, I'll have to go back to work, unfortunately, from my lunch break. Oh, I'm sorry, hon. Well, go take care of yourself, okay? You may have to get a biopsy soon. Do what you can to do self care before you have to get that. That's always scary stuff, but take care of yourself, okay? That's really important. It's really important. I guess can I just end with like telling you guys how much I appreciate all of you for hanging out with me while I'm talking about this because I know that this is heavy, heavy talk. We went over a lot of stuff that is not fun. It's not fun. It's not the fun furry stuff that is, lighthearted and being like, hey, ooh, whoa, look at this top 10 furries that I want to boop on the snoot. No, it's not that. It's literally talking about somebody who's actively trying to make life difficult for people, actively hating on other individuals in this fandom that we have built up and is made of all of us, a beautiful rainbow of individuals. I know that sounds cliche, but you know what? It's pride right now. I can talk about rainbows and have it not be cliche because that's what we are. We are a beautiful rainbow of people from different backgrounds, different interests, different species, all sorts of stuff. And it's lovely. Oh, Uwu notices your hate, right? Yes, Speedy. We actually talked. That was what the stream was about today. Is Katamari Snup. It was about Katamari Snup. I would highly suggest going back and watching if you're interested, because we're kind of wrapping up right now. We're kind of wrapping up. Glad you're feeling better. I mean, have a good self-caring rest day tomorrow. Yeah, I'm hoping that like I actually can feel good for a day off. I want to do stuff. I really want to go down to Pride this weekend. There's a Pride parade down in Seattle this weekend, and I want to drive down to it. I want to get down there. I want to express myself, and I hope that all of you guys get to have gone to express yourself during Pride as well, because it's important. It's doubly important this year. Just be yourself, be who you are, love who you are. It's better to have someone like you who doing work trying to fight the dumb hate that the folk be trying. Well, thank you, hon. It means a lot. I This is what I like to do. This is what I like to do. I like to be able to talk and be honest about who I am. Be honest about my who I am and what I believe in and use the skills that I learned as a journalist for good. You never really took time to? Aw, well, hope Take a look and see if there's anything happening local. Maybe you might still be able to get out to something. Maybe you still might be able to get out to something. You deserve to. You deserve to get to try to go and have some fun, right? But yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap up stream. Uh, I appreciate you guys all for hanging out with me. It means a whole heck of a lot. And I will see you tomorrow, probably. I might try to do like a dance stream or something somewhere. Uh, I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling. We'll see how I'm feeling, see how things are going. But thank you all for hanging out and just remember to love yourself. It doesn't matter what anybody says, okay? You are beautiful for who you are. That includes the interests that, other people might find abhorrent. That's what makes you you. If you're not hurting anybody, if you're being safe, sane, consensual, then no one has any right to judge you at all. Thank you for being who you are. Absolutely love you. See you soon.